There's in the courtroom when Victoria Newman starts exploding everybody's heads, and it took them maybe like 3 hours to set up this one blood cannon shot, and it was supposed to go to my chest, and we rehearsed it a bunch of times, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I do that, I scream, and then I run away, and we had one chance to get this thing, and I got really into it, and they load the blood cannon with like banana and like silicone to make it look like, I hope it's not banana, actually.
Chunks of stuff.
Silicone to look like brains and shit. And
it's banana lube.
Banana lube, that's right, my favorite kind. And then, so I was getting really into it, and they were about to shoot the blood cannon off, and I got too low, and the blood cannon hit my face. And it felt like somebody took a dictionary and tossed it at my face. I was like, and everybody went silent, because they thought I was genuinely really hurt. But I finished the take and went, yeah! Okay, she's fine. But
They finished the take and he went up to the pump bottle to get some hand sanitizer. It was lube.
There's not too many sets for that.
They sent out a memo and everything. We ran out of blood for a bit. It's like they needed to manufacture more blood.
Yeah, the healthcare understood. They're like, it's for the.
Yeah.
What are some of the good moments? Do you try and crack everyone up? Somebody over here gets it. She's dying. I see what's happening here. A little bird told me.
What's throwing me under the bus right now?
That's actually really smart.
Honestly, that's really smart. I don't know why I did
Very
that.
smart. Is
It
it
worked.
true? Care to comment? I know, here you are.
I'm still here. I learned that actually, who's really, really good at ad-libbing is PJ Byrne, who plays the guy who plays the director.
Director
Bork. Bork, yeah. He came in one day and he was doing a description of Dawn of the Seven, and in the script it just looks as though it's going to be a voiceover, and it's just like photos of what's going to happen. And they said, oh, no, you're actually supposed to be saying this whole thing out loud. And he learned it within 30 seconds and then added and wrote all of these ad-libs. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's a genius.
And I'm not going to do it in your voice. All you need is do you know which one? All you need is an AR-15 and meep no more.
I was so happy to hear that was actually an improvisation.
Nice!
Yeah, nice! I actually did it, and I did it on the first day, and then on the second day, they asked to do the regular version. You remember that? We shot it again. And then I saw it on screen, and they picked that, and it was right on. Yeah.
Are you a big Roadrunner fan?
No, it was actually written as, how does it go? You take an AN-15 and you just shut up. You make the Wile E. Coyote shut the fuck up. Like that. Just went and meep no more.
It's a great
I was sure you were gonna say he's trying to get it.
About season 4.
Yes. We just about finished shooting it.
There you go.
Hopefully, towards the end of the year, I think, we don't really know, but you're going to get to season 4.
We're looking forward to it, and there are so many people here, and I made the mistake of talking too long yesterday. We have a lot of questions. So now is the time of the show when I'm going to...
Probably. So what? The stickiest fingers.
You got some Hawaiian shirts in your closet, don't you?
A-Train, big fan.
Say!
Well, thank you. So I just have a question for you, just a curious question. But do you think A-Train jacks off like a normal person, or does it super speed? You tell me, if you were able to move that fast, would you jack off at super speed, or you? I got money to make.
The question is, does he ejaculate at super speed?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Shoot it out and race it to the end of the. Anyway.
All back to fluent. It's a
Being a character that like already used to have, was that a challenge? Did you bring parts of yourself to the character? Like how did you balance it up? Question.
These people, I love these people.
I'll jump into that. Obviously, noir is different, through the first, when we get into the seasons, and I was looking at the character, and, as a comic book fan myself, I understand wanting to see what is on the page on the screen, right? And so when I was looking at, noir, and obviously what happens in the comic books, I paused, and I'm like, how am I gonna approach this? And we were in New York for the first premiere, and I think it was me and Aaron and Chase, and we ran into Garth Ennis at a bar. And I sat down, and I talked to him, and I asked him, like, who is Noir to you? What is he about? And he gave me his spiel, and for him, he's like, I see Noir as this ticking time bomb, but really, it's yours now. Like, what you want to do with it is up to you, And so that really made me feel comfortable, and it felt like a blessing to just follow my instincts and how I wanted to play with the character.
Or like the messiest sort of that you found?
This has got to be one in this season, season 4. It was a couple of days ago. I'm still traumatized. But I kind of channeled Butcher because after the scene, I remember standing and the director came and said, "It's good. Are you okay? Are you cool with that?" I said, "No, it was diabolical."
Scene, A-Train like goes down and injects Pop Claw and kills her out. That scene was surprisingly technical because it happens in super speed. So already, they have to shoot it in like three different ways or whatever. We do like a plated version. They do a version with me in it. They do a version with or without the other actor, and it's just super technical, but it's also emotional. So it's like, hold that tear, you know what I mean? Like, just hold it for a second, swap this person out, like put in the prosthetic, and then go again. So like that was tough, but getting through it, it just sort of seemed like it added a little bit of weight to the scene because it was just so intense and like. That's just what it feels like. Somebody's dying. You're like.
It was just like heavy. I just felt this heavy energy in the room, and we get into blocking, and then it gets really technical for a while. But that was it was a heavy day in a lot of ways. A little messy.
I think for me, the most challenging and difficult thing was actually, one of them was actually in season 1, was the translucent fight. Now, normally when you do a stunt fight, there is somebody you're fighting who is there, obviously. But when you're fighting an invisible guy, you have to remember what punch he's throwing at you, and that makes it a lot difficult, a lot more difficult. But when we shot that, we had a guy in a green suit, and then they took him out, and I had to remember what he did. But remembering the choreography of when you're getting punched in the face.
Nathan's cancer necklace, and I was going to ask him what a cancer uprising was until Jesse said that nobody knows which dates it was, and I don't know if you guys remember or not, but finally, Nathan, what is a cancer uprising? I know you love astrology.
Oh, okay. So Cancer. I think we're talking about Cancer rising, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, your rising sign is the sign that was like on the horizon when you were born, and it represents like your social energy. Cancer rising, there's like a gentleness, a softness, like a warm, nourishing, supporting energy that's very emotionally oriented, right? So like I'm a Sagittarius sun, and Sagittarius are about freedom, they're optimistic, they're upbeat, they're kind of blunt, adventurous, spontaneous. And when like my friends, they see that side of me, but say if I'm just to be true, like I've observed when if I'm looking at a chart and I'm like, okay, based on this alignment, this and this should happen, I've seen things happen that are outside of my control that align with the symbols that I see, and so I'm not someone who's like, you should believe in this or believe in that, like whatever you want to subscribe to, great, as long as it's not hurting anybody. And it's been a helpful tool for me, and so I use it. It's actually Uranus.
Mic drop. That's it. Human scenes that get you to understand the character more. So as seasoned actors, is there anything that when you're doing the table read, you're reading the script for the first time, that stood out to you as kind of a particularly challenging scene for your character, and what scene was that? Thank you. Question.
I can start with that one. I think last season, towards the end, sort of when A-Train gets his new heart, he has that moment with his brother. Because I've always sort of felt like his brother was the moral compass of, A-Train's subconsciousness, you know what I mean? So a lot of those scenes, although they may be condensed, we kind of get straight to the point in those scenes and tell a lot in a little bit amount of time, but they're usually very heavy. And luckily, Christian is always very well prepared, the guy who plays my brother. And those scenes always kind of jump out to me because I'm always trying to dissect what's in them, because I know that we're trying to put 3 pages of dialogue into 6/8 of a page or whatever. And so trying to break those moments apart to figure out what is supposed to be said there that's not necessarily on the page is usually something that I have fun playing around with.
Character. And you hope that you will find out something new about reading scripts, and hopefully, even if it's Cherie or Little Nina, it's always like, for me as an actor, it's a treasure of a glimpse of something I didn't know about Frenchie, and then kind of figuring out with myself, or do I take the character, how do I develop it? So those kind of things are treasures.
Yeah, I was gonna say the scene I shot with you last year where I yank out my hair and then yell at you for a while. That's it. I love, like, clearly I keep playing assholes. I don't know really why, but like it's fun for me to do that kind of thing. It's like very therapeutic. But this guy, it's very hard to be so cruel to you. There was a lot of a lot of anger and feeling that Ashley had toward A-Train that I wholly didn't feel. That I was like, I had to go through the list of things that A-Train had done and be like, oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he's murdered a lot of people. he's so nice and amazing and sweet that it's like,
Thanks, Cole.
it's true. I love you.
you.
That's always hard,
Yeah, it's sense of
Probably the scene where Butcher rejects Ryan. I remember reading that on the page. It was like, ooh, it was pretty brutal. And Cameron's such an amazing, talented young actor, and it was a challenge to shoot. He delivered, and I understood the motivation for Butcher having to do that, and the situation that he was in mentally at the time, and the reasons that he.
Difference between performance the superhero, because the show is about superhero. Is there a difference between using power or doing the action scenes? Is there a difference between the others season using power?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that aspect of the story. I remember saying to Chris, because I think the first couple of seasons, the boys' repertoire of their arsenal of that they had to use against the suits was relatively limited. It was, bribery and coercion and all that sort of thing. And there's only so many times you can play that card. And I liked when Butcher got superpowers. It was a little bit closer to the comics when the boys have taken V to sort of level up so that they can physically take on these guys. And it was certainly a lot of fun to play. And it is always more fun. It's more fun to be able to physically go and do fight scenes with the superhero characters. Like, I have massive envy of Karen. Like, she's so badass in the show, the female, and she gets the best fights, hands down. And so it was nice to sort of play in there.
Writers, I respect that. But I have one question. Jim Caston, the question is, what was your reaction with that octopus scene with Steve? Like, what was up with that?
Also, quickly, I don't know if you could hear while you were outside, did you know that the show won an award from PETA for using a CGI octopus instead of a real octopus? Yeah.
Which was amazing, but I do remember there was fish on the menu for lunch that day.
That seems is rough. That I was like, oh fuck. But the curse, I've been cursing this whole time. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're doing the fuck we want.
Okay, Homelander.
What's the age limit? Is anyone here?
The inside the penis scene still makes me sick. I was wondering, is there anything in the show that keeps you guys at night?
I sleep like a baby, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, the amount of penises is quite extensive. Like, there are so many dicks. Like, I went into the prosthetics trailer just hanging out the other day, and I just see like a dick hanging on the wall. And I was like, oh, cool, like, can I take that? Yeah, I was like, cool. Revealing way too much about myself right now, but I'm just kind of a curious person, and I was interested. But yeah, no, I mean, there are a lot of, the amount of penises is a lot.
Can we level this up a bit? Can we, there's a lot of dicks on this show. Can we, have some female genitalia?
That's right.
Balance it out. And it's like, yeah, dicks are funny.
Fit in the boys really well.
I would love to have Walter White with me. We did some chemistry together, I think. A lot of ass bombs and sick. Yeah, you agree?
Man, that's a good question.
No, I'm thinking.
I really want to have a good answer.
I think.
Who do you think?
I think Peacemaker would match real.
See that?
John?
Yeah, I think Peacemaker would fit.
Pinky and the Brain would be.
Doubtfire is my superhero.
Okay, would that be great in the show too?
I mean, that's a good question. Like, if I could pull like any cartoon character to like be on Noir's shoulder, who would it be? I mean, yeah, Pinky and the Brain would be terrible. Like just having a little dialogue back and forth on his shoulder.
Peppa Pig. Just naming things now.
I don't know if Peppa Pig would end. Yeah.
Peppa Pig's a classic, bro.
I'll get on it.
Get on Peppa Pig.
Manifest that for season 4.
Which character you played, like, who would you play?
Oh, jeez. I would go for the deep.
I was gonna say that.
I would never would have pulled it off like Chase does. Amazing job. It just cracks me up. I just think he has the most hilarious, crazy scenes I ever saw in my life.
Agreed. He's just like, listen, you have to be really smart to play dumb that well. And he does it, like, he blows my mind coming on set. He's always just coming up with, like, we're starting the take and there's a big poster of his face, like, in the hallway of the set. And he'll just, in the middle of the scene, he'll just be like looking at his face and I mean, it's really, really good. Like, he's always coming up with crazy shit. And I could not do it as well as he does, but I would definitely love to try.
That's a good one, okay? Perfect.
You relate to the most or feel like reflects your traits the most in real life?
Homelander's pretty relatable.
He's got some great points.
He's got some valid points. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough.
To be honest, I think that what makes the show so great, and I'm talking only about The Boys because these guys are on a different TV show called The Seven or something. I think we love our characters so much. Like, I can't even think about playing, a different character. Like, that's it. It's a done deal. Ever since day one, and it just works. And we are so involved in our characters, and we're so into it when we're on set. I think that what makes the boys, you know, and not the seven. That's why the show is called The Boys.
That's pretty cool. It's okay. We can have a battle royale. Right?
For an entire year because of you. Can you please call me a cunt?
Boy, cunt. I hate that word.
Use it so well.
But my question for you guys is it as intimidating filming a scene with Anthony Starr's Homelander as it looks on TV?
Yes.
It depends on who you are. Like, he loves noir, or, you know, he did. But it's amazing, because, you know, I think, especially, like, we go back to episode 8 in season 3, like, it's just, like, right there, just, like, up close, you know, and just give me this amazing performance, you know, and yeah, you know, there's Anthony, and then there's Homelander, and when he's in this, like, Homelander simmer, you know, there's a very intense energy that comes out, but it's phenomenal to be up close to.
Yeah, that's well said. The Homelander simmer. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get the last question in. So thank you. Great question. And our final question.
Okay, before I ask my question, someone mentioned different shows. A quick shout out to Tomer. I really loved you in Fauda. Huge fan also. And my question is for...
He created Fauda.
That's right. My question is for Carl. So as we all know, Queen Maeve and Billy Butcher got kind of close this season. So...
Got hot and sexy.
Is Billy Butcher secretly in love with Queen Maeve?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I think that was more of a case of two rather lost souls just having to find themselves at this immense point of frustration and desperation, and in that moment were able to look beyond their cavernous differences between each other and go for it. And that's what they did. And yeah, but love, I think, well, Billy Butcher is, I think, to the end of the earth on a mission. Obviously, primarily to wipe out Homelander, but if he can take them all, he will. And unfortunately, she is one of them. So yeah, love, not so much. Thank you for your question. Hey, I just want to say, Toronto, you guys are fucking awesome, and we couldn't be more grateful for your hospitality that we've all experienced over the 4 or 5 years that we've been here shooting our show. You've made us so welcome. It's a home away from home, and that's really the primary reason why we wanted to come here this weekend. And thank you. You guys are the best. You've got a great city. We fucking love it.
Love you.